good morning. It's Thursday, 10 a.m. Central, and we are going to do a little round of Ask Me Anything. It's something that I used to do in Brittany Bruce Education, which, formerly known as Brittany Bruce Education. We are now Well Done Women. And it was the highlight of my days. I used to go live all the time, every day, and um, the Lord asked me to step away from my company for a couple of years and gave me, this vision, this dream for Well Done Women. And now I get to go live again. And I'm excited and I'm thankful that he has released me back into the world of teaching and education. Again, I took a few years off and it has been a journey. It has been a wild, wild journey. But I wanted to start implementing my Ask Me Anything lives again on Thursdays at 10 a.m. If you are new here to the community, hey, I'm Brittany Bruce, and I'm excited to be here. I'm also going to be going live on my Instagram. We have 3 questions today, so I'm going to get my Instagram pulled up. If you are live, if you are here, please say hello so I can see who you are and tell us where you're from. All right? While I get, what is on my lipstick? There we go, hair. Okay. All right. I'm going to go live on Instagram too. So if you see me looking back and forth. All right. Okay. We are live. It is Thursday. It's Ask Me Anything. I'm excited to be here. Over the week, 3 of you asked a question. And I'm excited to answer them today. Today, we're going to be talking all about how to get started in YouTubing, how to get started in podcasting. How do you create stuff to sell, like digital downloads, like digital guides? How do you make money online? Which is, I'm sure, what that first question was about. Like, hey, how do you get started on YouTube? How do you get started on podcasting? What I really think the question is how do you make money YouTubing? How do you make money podcasting? Because again, we want to make wise use of our time, like Ephesians 5:15 says, walking in a wise manner, making the best use of our time, knowing the will of our Father. And so if you are interested in sharing what you know, using your knowledge to serve others, to multiply your gifts and talents, that's my jam. That's what I teach. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So if you're with us live, say hello. Tell me where you're from and where you're at in life. What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? We are on Instagram. Hello, Instagram. We're on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. And we'll get right to it. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. You can DM me or message me your questions, or you can email me at hello@welldonewomen.com, and you can send in your questions anytime. I curate them all together. I put them on this little iPad here, and that's what I go off of. And I'm going to show up on Thursdays at 10 Central to answer your questions. I do have a really fun announcement at the end of this. So if you want to hang out with me until then, you will hear all about it. Okay, so the first question that I got in this week was, hey, Brittany, how do you get started with YouTubing? I see that you're on YouTube. You show up weekly on YouTube. How did you get started in that? And that was pretty much the extent of the question. But I feel like what she was really asking was, how do you make money with YouTube? Right? I looked her up. She has a business. She's doing her business, and she's interested in sharing her knowledge and expertise on YouTube. And so I want to go ahead and let you guys know, yes, I have a YouTube channel, but I do not consider myself a YouTuber. And my goal for YouTube is not to get a ton of likes and subscribes and follows and all the things. So if you ever go to my YouTube channel, you're not going to hear me say subscribe, like, blah, 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 that all the YouTubers are doing, because that is not my strategy with YouTube. To get paid as a YouTuber, you have to have a ton of followers and a ton of likes and a ton of views, and brands reach out to partner with you so that you sell their products on your show. You can also get ad space. It's the same kind of thing. So you're basically selling other people's products on your show because of your viewership. The way that I view my YouTube channel is I view it as an evergreen content platform so that I can sell my own products. Now, I have never had a huge following on any platform. I've never had a huge following. If you go to my YouTube channel, like it's not a huge following, but that's not my goal. My goal is to serve people, it's to make money for my family. It's to get people from my free content into my paid content because I know in my paid programs, that is where you are able to radically change your life. It's hard for me to radically change your life through a live video or through a podcast or through a 10-minute YouTube video. But if I can get someone watching my YouTube video into my paid program, I can walk with them, take them through my 6-step path, my 6-step process, and visually see them change their life. So how did I get started? So that's my goal on YouTube. It's not to be popular. It's not to get a ton of views. It's to provide valuable content, have them join my economy of resources, get them inside of my programs, my memberships, my courses. And then from there, their life has changed. They're able to tell other people about it and it grows. That's how I was able to make 6 and 7 figures with a very small audience. It's because I was selling my own product. So if you're watching this and you have a small audience, know this: you don't need a big one. You just need a product. You don't need a big audience to make money online. You just need a product. And I can help you. I can teach you how to make a product, which is going to be one of the questions down here below. So the way that I started, I was a photographer and I started teaching photography through a free Facebook group just like this. And I would go live almost every single day answering questions about photography. And I realized that the only people that were watching my content were the people inside of my Facebook group. And I was like, I feel like this isn't the best use of my time. There's got to be a better strategy. So I took my live videos from my Facebook group, I downloaded them and I uploaded them into YouTube so that it is now on an evergreen content platform. It's now on a searchable content platform. It's not just stuck here inside of my Facebook group. I am now on YouTube where people, if they want to learn something and they're like, how do I shoot in manual mode? My video will come up even 6-7 years later. Like even today, I get comments on my photography YouTube videos. And so if you have a Facebook group and you're going live and you're serving your audience, know that yes, I definitely think you should, because going live, like this is where you meet your people. This is where I can see, I can see Hannah's here. I can see Becca's here. I can see on Facebook, I can see everybody who's here. I can connect with you. But on YouTube, it's just a smarter strategy long term in order for your content to live past today. Because your live video, it's gonna go down. The people who watched it live, I'll have a few people watch the replay, but at the end of today, it's pretty much gone. But if I take this same content and I put it on YouTube, it is now on there forever. It's on a searchable content platform. It's on an evergreen content platform, which means it doesn't die. It's there forever. And I can sell my programs, my products, get people in my ecosystem and help them and actually help them, right? And here's another pro tip for my business owners, and especially my Christian business owners, especially those who love the Lord and you have a hard time asking people for money. Let me just tell you this. In order to sell something, you got to serve. You got to show up and teach and serve. So if you have anything that you want to sell, you can't just be like, hey, take my program, watch my course, buy this, buy this, buy this. That's what I'm seeing everywhere right now. People are buying a course from somebody else and being like, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. But here's the problem. In order to sell something, you need to serve. But in order to serve someone at the level that you can help them actually change their life, you have to sell. So if you are one of my sweet students, and I counsel you, I mentor you, and I love you, but you just like, I just can't ask for money. If you want to help these people, they have to get inside of your programs. That's what it is, because no one's life is radically changed by a podcast, by a live, by an Instagram reel. Okay. So change your mindset around that. All right. Going back to how did I actually start? I created a brand. I knew look at that. I created a brand. I knew exactly who I was and what I wanted to teach, the lane that I wanted to be in, my specific expertise, and I knew exactly who I wanted to serve. Your brand is who you are, married to who you serve. That is your brand. Your brand is not just logos, fonts, pretty colors, and headshots, although those are important. That's not what a brand is. A brand is the marriage between who you are, the calling on your life, what God has gifted you with, the strengths, the talents, the passions. It's who you are, and who specifically God has called you to, the people group, the very specific people group that you're called to. That is your brand. Because again, we are not called to serve the world. We do not need or want everyone in our business ecosystem. We're not called to serve the world. That was Jesus's job. We are called to serve a specific people group, very specific. That is your brand. So figure out your brand, who you are plus who you serve, and then understand what your audience wants. You need to be so in tune with the people that God has called you to and know their pain points, struggles, problems, and questions so that you can create content, whether that's a YouTube video or a podcast episode or an Instagram reel or a book or whatever that is. You need to create resources, content to help them alleviate their pain and take the next step forward in their life. So create your brand, understand what your audience wants, and then Instagram's over here. We got thumbs up, we got balloons. I don't know what's happening. And then you show up. It doesn't have to be pretty. You don't need a fancy office. You could do it in your car. You show up via video for YouTube, via audio for podcast, via reel for Instagram or stories or lives. You show up helping people overcome their problems. That is how you get started. Now, here's the strategy that nobody tells you. Don't just put content out into the world. You need to make sure that you are able to capture someone's email address through your free content. If you look on my YouTube video or if you listen to any podcast episode at the Well Done Women podcast, the very first thing that I ask people to do is I ask them to go and get my free guide. Like, hey, before we start this video, go and get my free guide. I have it for you. It's free. You can download it. You can watch the workshop, whatever it is. That's the first thing that you need to do, because again, our goal here on these free content platforms is to get people in your ecosystem because you want to help them change their life. They want you to help them change their life. In order to do that, you've got to get them inside of your email list so that you can get them inside of your program so that you can partner together and help them walk through your program. Mine is a 6-step program from knowing nothing about online business all the way to hosting your own mastermind, building your own retreat, having your own course product suite, everything that you want to do, the product funnel to help you have multiple income streams using the knowledge and experience that you already own. That is what I do. So show up freely, get them inside of your email list by giving them a free product, and then continue to serve them via email. Continue to love and serve them. Continue to support them by alleviating the problems in their life, the questions that they have. And then a percentage of those people are going to be like, she's my girl. She's my guide. I want her to be my coach. I want her to be my mentor. She's the person that I trust, and I want inside of her program. I want inside of her membership. So that is how you get started in YouTube. And the second question was very, very similar. It's like, hey, how do I start a podcast? I don't want to just throw up like, hey, here's 5 steps to start a podcast. I want you to really ask yourself, what is the goal? Why do I feel this burden on my heart to start a podcast? And if you don't have that Holy Spirit burden on your heart to start a podcast, I promise you, you don't want to get into it. It's a lot of work. Anything that you do is going to be a lot of work. You're going to get a lot of pushback. You're going to get people telling you your stuff sucks. You're going to have family members, friends who are like, what are you doing? Like, you are going to have pushback. And so what I want you to do is go to the Lord and say, Lord, is this podcast that I want to start something that I want to do, or is it something that you want me to do? Is this something that you are calling me to, or is this something that I want for my own personal gain? There's a distinct difference. Okay? So, again, I know I'm squirreling off into a lot of little tangents, but I hope you hear my heart. Do not start something without surrendering it and submitting it to the Holy Spirit. He is going to give you a peace that passes all understanding on either way. All right? What is the goal of your podcast? If your goal of your podcast is to help people and serve people and change lives and love on them and to preach and teach and to share your testimony on where you've been and where God has led you and how you used to do this and now you do it this way, and you have a resume of people that you know that you can help with what you have to share, start a podcast. That is one of the best content platforms. Why? Because you are able to enter into the ears of someone as they drive, as they walk, as they do laundry, as they work, and you're able to speak life into them as they are doing life. As the enemy is coming in and attacking them and saying, like, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. I'm overwhelmed. I'm discouraged. I'm depressed. I have anxiety. You're able to get into their ears and speak life over them and speak life into them. So how do you get started in a podcast? The exact same way you get started on YouTube. You got to build a brand, know who you are and who you serve. You got to know who your audience is. You got to know what their problems, pain points, questions, insecurities, the type of spiritual warfare that they're facing. You got to know them. And if you don't know them, get to know them. Find your people and ask them questions. That's what, if you listen to my podcast this week, it was a live coaching call from our Well Done Women membership. It was a live coaching call, and it was like, how to create products that people actually want and need. And if you speed up toward the end, I give you 5 questions that you can ask people. You can ask your audience and do it as like Instagram or social media blasts. Like, hey, when it comes to losing weight, what is your top struggle? What is your main struggle? When it comes to, like, put in their desire, what are you struggling with? Straight up ask them. And then even specifically, reach out to someone that you have maybe worked with before, who you truly believe, like, hey, she's probably like my ideal student. She's probably my ideal client. Reach out to them individually and ask, hey, listen, when it comes to starting a business, like, what is the main thing that you're struggling with? They're going to tell you. It's probably going to be a lot of, well, I don't know how, I don't know what, I don't know where, tech, whatever. But a lot of it's going to be like internal struggles. It's going to be like, I don't know who, I'm not an expert in this. I can't do it because, I've tried it before and I failed. There's a lot of internal struggles. And guess what? You can create podcast episodes, YouTube videos, live videos, Instagram lives to help them overcome those problems and get them inside of your business ecosystem and help them change their life. So with the podcasting, it's the same as the YouTube. It's just a longer platform. You got 20, 30, 45 minutes sometimes. My last 2 weeks ago was like a 40-minute podcast about discouragement. And so you have a longer time with them to get into their ears and speak life into them. So you'll create your brand. You can create channel art, which is the little picture that you see, which that is, you can make through Canva. That's what I made mine in Canva. I did not hire out a designer. I just made it through canva.com. It's a graphic design app that you can go to right now, canva.com. And then curate your first 12 episodes. Curate your first 12 episodes. How can you radically solve their problems in 12 20-minute episodes? If you go to my podcast, Well Done Women, the Well Done Women podcast, you're going to see the first 12 episodes is a lot about discipleship. Yes, it's for women in leadership, women in business, entrepreneurs, but the first 12 episodes is about surrendering your life to Jesus and stop doing things your own dang way. It's about hearing God's voice to make sure that you are in the will of your Father, okay? It's about having to actually have a relationship with Jesus so that you know that you are doing what you're called to do. And you, because you have a relationship with him, you got to know him, you know his character, you know he won't leave you nor forsake you. And so the first 12 episodes is very foundational. So your first 12 episodes of your podcast needs to be the almost like the discipleship of your ideal client. Like the internal, like what is ground zero? Yes, my people, they want to know how to make money. They want to know how to help and serve others. They want to know how to create courses, create coaching programs, memberships, digital downloads. They want to know all those things. But the foundation and the core and the root of all their problems truly comes when they're following culture instead of Jesus, when they're listening to the gurus instead of the Holy Spirit. So, first 12 episodes, map that out. And if that's overwhelming, to be like, okay, what's after the first 12 episodes? I teach my people, like, hey, make content buckets. I did a live training yesterday in our Well Done Women community. It was like, hey, I have so much that I want to share. I don't even know where to start. I have so much to teach and preach on. Where do I even start? The way that I teach my people is create 4 buckets of your knowledge and what you people need. What your people need. Because remember, your brand is the marriage between who you are, your expertise, your experience, your knowledge, your passions, paired with the problems of your people. So think of that 4 buckets and organize. Okay, something that I'm passionate about is helping people step into their calling and purpose, hearing God's voice and knowing the will of their Father. That is one of my content buckets. Getting clarity in your calling. Know who the heck you are and what you're called to do. Another content bucket is business and branding and marketing and product development, right? Because I'm solving those 2 things, those 2 buckets are solving huge pain points in my students' life. They're confused on what they're doing with their life, and they need to create products, make money, serve people. I'm solving those 2 problems with those 2 content buckets. So one week on my podcast, I can talk about calling. The next week, I can have some business training. The next week, I talk about the other 2 buckets. And next week is the other bucket. If you're showing up on social media and you're like, I'm just doing whatever trend is happening, you know, like I'm doing, and I'm not getting anywhere. Instead of following the trends and the culture of Instagram, why don't you go a little bit deeper and actually serve people where they're at right now? Serve them with your content buckets. One day talk about calling, the next day talk about business, the next day talk about leadership. Whatever your those are my content buckets. What are your content buckets? Organize your genius. Organize how you can help people and then show up accordingly. Podcast is once a week. Social media can be daily. Lives can be once a week. That's how you can curate the content. Inside of Well Done Women membership, I have a bonus. It's called the Talk Template. And so if you are just starting out in podcasting or YouTubing or going live and you're like, that is terrifying, I have a talk template that you can literally fill out and walk through as you start YouTubing, as you start podcasting, as you start showing up and helping people. It's called the Talk Template. It's anywhere you want to talk. If you want to speak on stages, if you want to be a speaker, if you want to write a blog or a book, I use my Talk Template. And my Well Done Women members have access to it as long as they're a member. So that is how you get started with YouTube. You get started with podcasting. You start creating content that people actually want and need. If you haven't already listened to episode 20 of the Well Done Women podcast, I teach you how to create products that don't fall flat, that you don't get crickets over, whether that's a retreat, a workshop, a conference, a book, a course, a membership, a coaching program, whatever it is. How do you make it to where that people actually want it and you get paid, they get inside of your program and you can change your life? That is what that episode was about. So go check out episode 20 if you haven't already. And then the last question, I know we covered a lot. We're almost at 30 minutes, so I'm going to make this quick. The last question was how do you create a workbook or a digital download to sell or to give as a freebie to get people on your email list, or to sell as a $7 product to, again, help people. How do you create that ebook workbook? It's very simple. It's called canva.com, and you can go type it in, workbook, ebook, and there's templates already made for you. All you have to do is plug in your copy, your words, replace theirs with yours, replace their images with your images, and then you hit download as PDF. That is how you create a freebie, a workbook, ebook that you can not only use as a freebie to get people into your email list, but you can use it as a $7 product that you can now sell people. Part of what I feel called to do is to help you stop being scared about selling. Stop being scared about selling. If you love the people that God has called you to, it is your responsibility to sell. What is selling? It's you telling somebody what it is that you have and how you can help them. That's all selling is. Now, let me preface this by saying, if you are selling something that is taking people's money and is not helping them, and it's not going to change your life, and you're just trying to take their money, yeah, that is icky, that is sleazy, get out of here. But if you have created a program, a product, an ebook, a workshop, a retreat, a course that you know you have poured your entire life and soul into, and you know that it can radically change somebody's life, what are you doing hiding it? What are you doing hiding it? We are literally called by the God who created us to multiply what we have, to multiply, to sell, to give freely, yes, but to also, we can't truly change somebody's life until they can get inside of our programs. I wish that I could spend 40 hours on YouTube and Instagram and on Facebook walking you through my program. But here's something that I know about people. When people don't pay, they don't pay attention. If people don't have access to me anytime, any day, and where I can answer their questions and I can get them unstuck and I can speak life into them, I can't help them get unstuck. Showing up live once a week, me being in your ears on your podcast every two, like, that is not going to radically change your life. You making the commitment to yourself and saying, I'm doing this, I'm going to put some skin in the game, and I'm going to get inside the program, and I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to say yes to myself and yes to the call that God has called me to. That is where people's lives are going to change. So if you are looking for something, if you are looking for a mentor, a coach, a community of people who are like, we're here with you. It's hard work, but we're going to walk together. If you are looking for a community or a coach or a mentor and a 6-step path to get you from where you are today to 1 year from now, you doing the thing, you selling the courses, you have your own product suite, you're selling with confidence, and you're not being scared walking forward in the call in your life, I want to invite you to join us in Well Done Women. Well Done Women is a new membership program. We started it back in March. The amount of transformation I have already seen these women walk through, it blows my mind. The type of prayer that these women are praying over each other, the type of support every single day, I can't keep up with the amount of support they have with each other, the collaborations that are happening. It's blowing my mind, and it's becoming something so much better than what I could have ever done without the Lord. So if you are a creative, a coach, a ministry leader, a business owner, and you are ready to create programs using the knowledge you already possess, the experience you already have, and to teach and lead other people to do it, and you're ready to multiply the talents your master has given you so that you can hear, well done, good and faithful servant, I want to invite you right now to join us inside of the Well Done Women membership. You can go to www.welldonewomen.com/membership. You can learn all about what's inside, all the things that we're doing, everything that we offer. And I want to invite you to join us. You don't have to do this work alone. There are people, we have a family of women that can help you, that can teach you, that can support you, that can give you feedback over the things that you're working on and doing. And so if you've been looking, waiting for just like some help, I can help you. I have a 6-step program that I have walked not only myself, my husband, and thousands of other women through. I have a 6-step program that literally holds your hand one day, 1 week, 1 season at a time to take you from not understanding who you are or what you're even called to do, all the way to doing what I'm doing, to serving others, to helping people change your life. So I want to invite you to that. Doors are open. You can get inside right now, today. You don't have to wait months, weeks from now. Just get in today. Start today. Join us on Tuesday where we can pray over you, where we can help you. Join us on Wednesday where we go live and I do this exact thing, except I'm able to answer your exact questions. Like Jennifer's here. She's a model woman. I was able to answer Jennifer's exact question that day to get her unstuck, moving forward. Keep going. That is what we're doing in Well Done Women. We aren't here. This is not a get rich quick situation. I'm not interested in vanity metrics. I'm not here to make you 1 million followers on Instagram. I am here to help you take the gifts, the talents, the knowledge, and experience that God has gifted you and given you and has allowed you to walk you through and create programs to help other people walk through it too. I help you how to build them out, how to price them, how to sell them without being weird, salesy, icky, where you are here actually changing people's lives, moving the needle in the kingdom. And here's the deal. God doesn't need us to do any of this. He doesn't need us. He's allowing us to partner with him, and he is delegating the people that he loves to us to reach out to them, to share our passions to them, to help them. So that is what I want to invite you to. You can go to welldonewomen.com/membership. You can learn all about the membership. I want to invite you. I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was valuable to you. If you have questions that you want me to answer, you can go to hello@welldonewomen.com. Shoot me an email. Ask me your questions. You can DM me. I also have a free workshop. If you're like, Bernie, I love you. I am not ready to invest in a membership right now. I have a free workshop. You can watch a 1-hour video training where I teach you my 6-step method on how to go from being confused, overwhelmed, and not knowing what you're doing. You're scared, you're freaking out, all the way to taking action on what it is that you're called to do and using the knowledge you already own to help people change their lives. So you go to welldonewomen.com/workshop to get the free class, or you can go straight to welldonewomen.com/membership to join us inside of the community. So I love you guys. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next week.